another upbeat jobs report.
A history-making jobs report.
Employers in the United States posted 8.7 million job opportunities in October 2023, a notable reduction from the 9.4 million reported in September 2023. This decline points to a possible slowdown in hiring, which may have been brought on by rising interest rates. Well, isn't it concerning? Let's dive deeper. The Labour Department's most recent data offers insightful information on how the dynamics of the labour market are changing. The 8.7 million job opportunities suggest some movement from the prior month, but it's crucial to consider this within the larger framework of the overall state of the economy. The data indicates that employer demand and labour supply are in balance, which is consistent with the continuous attempts to adapt to the shifting economic landscape. A number of variables, such as the effect of increasing interest rates that may be impacting employer decisions, could be connected to the decline in job vacancies. Increased rates frequently force companies to re-evaluate their recruiting tactics in light of possible effects on overall financial dynamics and operating costs. The labour market is durable and offers a healthy number of chances for job searchers even after the adjustment. The rate of layoffs has been able to keep a constant pace in the complex dance of economic indicators, barely fluctuating in the last few observations. The rate of resignations, which is sometimes used as a gauge of employers' confidence in their ability to navigate the maze of employment alternatives, has also shown a similar consistency. As it considers the subtleties of its interest rate policy, the Federal Reserve is focusing its attention on this delicate balance in employment dynamics. See the job market as a vibrant marketplace where opportunities and skills are constantly being exchanged between employers and employees. Similar to the tide of business, the pace of layoffs suggests that things are stable in this busy industry. When this rate fluctuates very little, there is a certain balance in the employer-employee relationship, which is evidence of the workforce's resilience. In the meanwhile, the rate of resignations provides a clear image of the confidence employees have in their capacity to embark on new career paths. It's similar to witnessing fearless acrobatics by experienced artists who demonstrate their faith in making the transition from one job trapeze to another. This self-assurance is essential to maintaining a flexible and dynamic workforce. The labour market takes centre stage, while the Federal Reserve expertly conducts the economic symphony. The current storyline implies that forecasts for the Fed's future interest rate decisions may be impacted by a cooling labour market, which is shown by these minute changes in quit and layoff rates. Under the current scenario, a cooling labour market may operate as a moderating force, with interest rates rising from the record lows of almost zero in March 2022 to a range of 5.25 to 5.5%. It is speculated that the Fed would decide against raising interest rates anymore in order to give the economy time to establish its own natural rhythm. The central bank recognizes the complexities of the labor market as a major performer in the larger economic symphony and works to achieve a careful balance in this regard. The job market has been surprisingly resilient in recent months, despite the Federal Reserve's deliberate attempts to control inflation by hiking interest rates. The workforce has shown incredible resilience in the face of these upheavals. However, there is a noticeable impact on consumer purchasing habits as indications of a possible slowdown in the labour market surface. There has been a noticeable change in consumer tastes, with people choosing experiences and services over traditional goods purchases. Many businesses that have shared insights with investors have highlighted this trend by stating that customers have been using more caution and cutting back on their product purchases. Rather, there is a noticeable increase in the amount spent on services that help create special moments, which is a complex reaction to the state of the economy. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation indicator for October confirms a slowdown in consumer expenditure in the face of these events. This data point suggests that consumers are re-evaluating their financial priorities in light of a changing environment, which is consistent with the larger economic indicators. Although certain industries may face difficulties as a result of this transition, consumers appear to be resilient and adaptive to shifting economic circumstances. There's a ray of light emerging from the financial markets as investors are more optimistic that the Federal Reserve may have reached the end of its rate hiking campaign. The Federal Reserve's chair, Jerome H. Powell, recently gave a speech in which he expressed assurance that the bank would keep interest rates stable if the evidence continued to point to a weakening economy. Investors have taken a like to Powell's statement, which has led to an increasing expectation that interest rates may level out or perhaps go down in the near future. The 10-year US Treasury yield, which saw a significant decrease and hit its lowest level since September, reflects this stance. It seems that investors are accounting for the potential for further interest rate reductions, which is consistent with the growing narrative of a changing economic environment. As market investors manage the complexities of a dynamic economic picture, the expectation of a more stable interest rate environment is a breath of fresh air, encouraging cautious optimism. The ebb and flow of employment possibilities is a key component in the complex dance of economic indicators, and at the moment it appears to be dominating center stage and impacting the careful balance maintained by the Federal Reserve. When analysts of the most recent labor market trends, such as Julia Pollack, chief economist at ZipRecruiter, examine the data, the general consensus is cautious optimism with an extra touch of caution. A detectable change in the employment environment accompanied by a discernible decline in work prospects has an impact on the whole economic ecology. As the mastermind behind monetary policy, the Federal Reserve is in a pivotal position. A reduction in employment prospects has traditionally signaled economic downturns, and the Fed is aware of these subtleties. Julia Pollack underlines that the data suggesting a significant cooling in the job market may be a key element affecting the Fed's decision-making, rather than their ignoring the writing on the wall. The Federal Reserve is cautious not to exacerbate the problem since it is responsible for maintaining economic stability. There is a growing belief that the Fed would be likely to postpone additional rate rises in light of the changing circumstances. This is a thoughtful reaction to the complex interactions between job patterns and the overall state of the economy, not merely a change in policy. Within the dynamic data of the labor market, there is a noticeable tide that recently points to a gradual slowdown without sacrificing its overall vibrancy. For workers, the environment remains extremely robust despite this subtle deceleration, presenting a picture of opportunity and resilience. As financial advisor Sonu Varghese of Carson Group rightly points out, one important sign of the market's strong health is the lower number of layoffs. It emphasizes a company's flexibility as well as its dedication to maintaining a stable and supportive work environment. Companies appear to be using caution and intelligence in navigating the post-pandemic scenario by keeping a staff that fits their changing demands. Even while inflation, a crucial economic indicator, has moderated since the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates in March 2022, it is still higher than the 2% objective set by the central bank. The Fed's favored inflation gauge showed a 3% year-over-year decline in October 2023. On the other hand, the inflation rate was steady at 3.5% when the impact of volatile commodities like food and gasoline costs was taken into account. This sophisticated view of inflation highlights the complexity of the economic forces at work, with underlying indications demanding a thorough analysis. When we consider the larger picture of the economy, we can see that although certain indicators show a slight change, stability and flexibility are the main themes. The labor market is robust in the face of changing conditions because it offers a combination of possibilities and difficulties. A deep comprehension of the complex interactions between job availability, hiring rates, and strategic workforce management is necessary to navigate these dynamics. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching our content, then do like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Also, don't forget to comment your thoughts below.